Again, welcome to Python programming language. In these lectures, we're going to discuss about mathematical functions. That's the built-in functions for Python programming language. So again, this is our lecture unit 4, part 1. So this is one of the motivations for this chapter. So for example, suppose we need to estimate the area enclosed by 4 cities, given the GPS locations of these 4 cities. The Atlanta have its own coordinate, Orlando, Savannah, and Charlotte. Now, how will you write a program to solve this problem? You will be able to write such program after you complete this chapter. Yeah, again, this program will be dealing with mathematical functions. We are finding the area of these 4 cities enclosed by these 4 cities. So the objective of these lectures is to learn how to solve mathematics problem by using the functions in the math module. Again, the math module is a built-in module in Python program, which consists of a lot of methods or functions to do arithmetic operation. And we will see examples soon. Also, we are going to learn how to use the odd function. Normally, the odd function will convert a character to a numerical code. So maybe we may enter a character C, and the value for C will be 67. And the opposite is a CHR, which is a character function. This will rather go the opposite. It will convert a number to a character. Also, we are going to learn how to invoke the print function with n argument. So again, let's get started. So first, we go through the Python built-in functions. Again, these are not all the functions. These are some few examples. So the first example is that we have a function that will find the absolute value of x. X can be any value. And we know absolute value of any value means the answer is always positive. So example here is absolute value for -2 is +2. Also, absolute value for +2 is +2. So that's the function we use to find the absolute value in Python. Also, we have a function named mass, which will give us a maximum value among many values that we have. So for example, here, we have a mass with 3 values, 1, 5, 2. 1, 5, 2, the maximum value is 5, so the answer will be 5. We also have a mean function that will return the minimum value among all the values given. So the example here is we have mean 152, and that will return 1 because 1 is the minimum value. Also, we have the POW function, which is called the power function. It will return a to the power b. So always the first value will be the base value and the second value will be the exponent. So example here, we have a power 2 and 3, which is 2 to the power 3 will give me 8. So it will return 8. We also have the run function, which normally will return an integer that is nearest to the x value. So if s is equally close to 2 integers, the even one is returned. So example, you have run 5.4. It's close to 5, so 5 is returned. But when I reach 5.5, it will be 6, approximate to 6. But if we have even 4.5, it will return the even number. We also have the run with 2 arguments, x and n. So this will return the float value rounded to the digit after the decimal point. So n is the number of decimal points. So a very good example, I have run 5.466. We need only 2 decimal places. So it will be 5.47. 0.466 will give me 0.47, 2 digits. Here we have 5.463, so that will give me 0.46, 5.46. So again, the run, s will be the value, n will be the number of digits we want for the value. Run x means we have a whole number. It will run it to a whole number. So that's why we have 5.4, we get only 5. 5.5, we get 6. Now, if I have run x and S is 5.4 and N is 1, which means we need one decimal place. The question is already 5.4, so the answer will be 5.4. So let's see some of the built-in functions here as an example. Now, again, the triple right arrows here is the Python prompt. If you are running the code in the Python prompt. So for example, if I type mass 234, it will return 4 because 4 is the maximum value. If I type min 234, it will return 2 because 2 is the minimum value. Again, the triple right arrow here means the prompt, the Python command prompt. Now we want to run 4.51. So the answer will be 4. Anytime the even number we get, we don't run it to odd number. So the answer is 4. But now if I have run 4.4, it will run to the nearest integer. And the answer also will be, again, 4. Now, we find the absolute value of -3. The answer will be +3. Now, power 2 and 3 means 2 to the power 3. So the answer will be 8. Same as writing 2 to the power 3. So these are some of the functions again. We have the fabs x. Fabs x also return the absolute value of the argument. Then we have a cell, CEILX. This will run x up to the nearest digit, which is the integer, and return that integer. So for example, if I have cell 2.1, it will return 3. Cell -2.1, it will return -2. We also have the floor. Floor normally will return x down to, not up, but rather down to its nearest integer. So floor 2.1 will give me 2 because down to the nearest integer. Then -2.1, it will go down. So down will give me -3. So again, cell go up. So 2.1 give me 3, -2.1 give me -2. We know -2 and -3, -3 is less. So with floor, it goes down. Then we also have the exponential function x. We know exponential have a special value, which is 2.71828. So if I write exponential, example here, exponential value for 1, it will give me 2.71828. We also have the log function to find the log of x value. So if I'm looking for log 2.71828, the answer will be 1.0. We also can have the log x, and also it has a base. And the base can be 10. It can be any base. So this means I'm looking log base 10 is 1. We also have the square root function, which is sqrt. It will give me the square root of any value. For example, square root of 4 is 2. We also have the trigonometric functions like sine x. We also have a sine x. We have cosine, a cosine, then tan. We also have the remainder, which is the f mod, modulus. We know modulus always gives us a remainder of a value. Then we have degrees to convert angle s from radians to degree. Then the opposite, we have radians s, that's converting the angle s from degree to radius. So radians will take argument of a degree of an angle. Then degrees will take an argument of radians of an angle. So now we come back to almost the same question we were asking before. And this question is saying that we should compute. Okay, so let's see one program here before we continue. So this is a program. Again, the goal here is using the Python mathematics functions. So first thing we need to do, if I want to use the Python mathematics built-in functions, then I need to import the math module. So import math. That's importing math module to use the math functions. Now first we're going to test some algebraic functions. We say print exponential 1.0. So we just want to find the exponential of 1. Second, a log means the natural log. So find the natural log of 3.78, or find the log base 10 of 10, or find the square root of 4.1. We also test the sine. We find the sine of pi by 2, cosine. Pi by 2 means we have pi is 180, and 2 by 2, then degree 1.7. Again, this means our degrees in radians, we are changing it to degrees, or from degrees to radians. So when we run this program, we are going to start the animation. So first, our answer was 2.7182, then the rest. Second, the log will give us 1.0. Then the log base 10 is 1. Square root will give us 2. Square root of 4 is 2. Then the sine of pi by 2 is 1. Again, pi is 180, so the sine 90 degree will give us 1. And also cosine 90 degree will give us 0, I think. Sorry, that will give us 6 point something. Then we have tan pi over 2 will give us 1.63 something. Then the degree 1.57. So here the degree of the angle is in radians. So here we are changing it to degrees. So that will give us 89 degree, almost 90 degree. So 90 degree will give us close to 1.57. That's 1.57. So again, that's a first example. Now let's go. So here also we want to compute the angles given to us here. So given 3 angles of a triangle, you can compute the angles using the following formula. Remember, this is in I think college algebra or trigonometry. We have the formula for finding an angle if we know the sides. So the angle for A, it will be A squared minus B squared minus C squared divided by negative 2BC, which all is to A cos. B will be A cos B squared minus A squared minus C squared minus 2AC divided by minus 2AC. And that's the formula. So here, again, if we run it, we can see the functions we are using here. So we ask the user to enter all the input. We change the input to float. Then first we find the side A, which will be the square root of S2 minus S3 times S2 minus S3 plus Y2 minus Y3 times Y2 minus Y3. Remember, this is squares. Again, S2 minus S3 times S2 minus S3. They are all square plus square. This is finding the distance. So we find the B and also we find the C. So here we are using the math square root function. Next, we use the degree functions. After we find the cos, the A cos of the value, we change it to degree. And then we print the result. We also run the answer first, then we print the result. So we also have strings and characters. So we know that a string is normally a sequence of characters and they must be in a double quotation or single. With Python, it doesn't matter, it can be in single quotation or double quotation. So here we say string literals can be enclosed in matching single quotes or double quote. Again, you can't use single quote beginning and end with double quote. You have to be a matching single or double quotation. So Python does not have a data type for characters. Again, in Java, when we put a character, we put it in a character means one single, we put it in a single quotation. Then a string will be in double quotation. But in Python, we don't have no data type character. So either single quotation, double quotation, they are all strings. So example here, we have a letter equal to A. It's in single quote. Numchar equal to 4. Now this 4 becomes a character now. It's not a value. Then message good morning. Same as message good morning. So the good morning can be in double quotation or single quotation. They are the same. Now the note here is consistency. So this lecture uses double quote for a string with more than one character, and also use single quote for a string with a single character. By convention, this is what we always follow. In Java, single quote in one character is a character data type. Double quote in more than one character is a string data type. But in Java, both of them are string. So this convention is consistent with other programming language. But Java, both means strings. There's no data type character in Python. In Python, both means string. In Java, single quote with one character means it's a character data type. Double quotations with a word or even a double quotation with a symbol means it's a string. So we also have to know what we call the escape sequence for special characters. So for example, if I have a \b, that's for backspace. So I can print \b to give me a backspace. Now I can have it in the print statement, I can have \t, which is tab. Then we also have the carriage return \r. Now, if I want to print a backslash, I will have double backslash, or single quote, I'll have backslash and a quote. Double quotation I want to print, then I'll have a backslash. So this again, I'll call the escape sequence. We'll see an example soon. So next also, we can print without a new line. So for example, I can print item, and I have n, what is here, n, any ending string can be here. So for example, print AAA, it will end with a space, maybe double space, single space, or here we end it with asterisks. Here we can end it with 3 asterisks also. We also have the string function. In a string function, normally can be used to convert a number into a string. So for example, if I write str 4.4, it will convert this number to a string. Then we have a string concatenation, which in Java we use plus. Same thing here also. So this is same as Java. So for example, I have welcome to Python, but I want to join them together. So I use the plus sign to join. So welcome, there's a space here, 2, there's a space after 2, Python. So when I print it, there will be space between the 3 words. So here we can use the plus operator to have 2 numbers. At the same time, we can use the plus operator, can be used to join or combine 2 strings. Now it depends. Here, the plus operator see that to the left you have a string, to the right you have a string, so it will join it. If to the right and left you have values, it will add them. If to the left or to the right you have only string with the other side value, it will still join. So this is an example reading strings from the console. We use that again, we have done that a lot already. So we can use the input function to input a data from the keyboard into a variable. So anytime we have the input function, we also need to declare our variable or assign that input to a variable, because anytime we enter data, we have to store it somewhere. So declaring a variable or having a variable means a memory location. So S1, S2, S3 are memory locations where we can put our values that we enter using the keyboard in. And anytime we enter a value using the input function, that value data type is a string. So sometimes after we finish with the input, we can add a float or int if I want to use, if it's a value and I want to use it in arithmetic operation, then I need to change the string data type to either int or float or numerical value. So here we ask the user to enter three values. All the values are string data type. We didn't convert it. Then we print all of them out. So we print S1, S2, S3 values. Now let's see the minimum function was used here. So this case study is about minimum number of coins. This program will let a user enter the amount in decimal representing dollars and cents. And then it will output a report listing the monetary equivalent in single dollars, quarters, dimes, nickels, and pennies. So what we mean is that, for example, the user may enter amount, let's say $5.60. How many dollars we are going to get, how many quarters we are going to get, how many dimes or nickels and pennies we are going to get. Now, next, the program should report the maximum number of dollars, then the maximum number of quarters, and so on. So let's see this program. So the first thing we do here, we ask the user to enter the number. So here you see we are using the input. And we tell the user to enter something like $11.56. Now, because we are going to use this value in arithmetic operation, after we enter finish, it's a string. We convert it to float before we assign it to a variable name amount. So this is converting the input to float. Then we assign it to a variable name amount. Next, we convert the amount to cents. Remember this, told us enter any amount and then tell us how many maximum dollars we get, quarters, dime, etc. So the first thing, I'll convert all the amount to cents. So we multiply the amount by 100 because we know $1 is 100 cents. So $11.56 becomes 1,156 cents. Now we want to know how many dollars we can get. So we divide by 100, and that will give us $11. Now we want to get the remainder of the 56. So we use the remaining amount modulus 100 because we have the variable where the remaining amount is the actual amount. So 1156 modulus 100 will give me 56. Then I will divide the 56. Now the remaining amount have only 56. I'll divide by 25. That will give me only 2 quarters. Then the remainder should be 6, but I will use the modulus operator to get the remainder, which is 6. Then next, I'm going to divide the 6 by 10. The answer will be 0, and the remainder will be 6. Then I will divide the remainder again by 5. I will get only 1, remainder 1. So the last remainder will be the penny. Here we are going to print all because each variable have a name. The number of dollars we have a variable number of $1. We print that one. Number of quarters, number of dimes, number of nickels, so we print all of them. So that's how this program works. Let's do the animation. They say we should enter. I'm going to enter $56.23. This means I'll get 56. What will be the remaining amount after the statement execute? Let's see. So it will give me amount times 100. So it will give me 56.23. No more decimal place. Then next, the number of dollars. So the number of dollars, if I divide the remaining amount by 100, the number of dollars will be 56. That's correct. Now, what will be the remaining? The remaining, if I say the number of dollars, remaining amount module, which is the same amount we have, 5623 modulus 100, that will give me 23 will be the remainder. If I divide 5,623 by 100, the answer will be 56, remainder 23. So that's correct. Then next, we have a remaining value. Still is 23 because the number of quarters is 0. But we need to find it here. The remainder is 23. Now we are going to divide the remainder 23 by 10, which will give me 2. So I have only 2 dimes. And the remainder will be 3. Then I'm going to divide 3 by 5, which is 0. The remainder is still 3. Then I divide that one again. And that will be the final result. So we can see our answer here will be, we have $56, 0 quarters, 2 dimes, 0 nickels, and 3 pennies, which are here. $56, 0 quarters, 2 dimes, 0 nickels, and 3. So that will be the conclusion of these lectures. Again, in these lectures, we learn some few built-in functions of Python, and we saw some few examples of a program. So again, wish everybody the best, and thank you for your time.